What up, world? We're back. It's your man, E-Dubs, a.k.a. Eric C. Wilson. I'm joined by, and I know I look old, so everybody just shut up and get it out the way. It's No Shave Movember, so whatever. Anyhow, your man, E-Dubs, my man, Lance LaRosa. Lance, say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people? And just so everyone knows, it's just really cold out. That's frosted on his beard right there. You know, it's cool.
I don't believe in that. What's that, just for men stuff? Don't worry. Next week or probably the week after, it'll all be gone. I'll be back, but man, this is the ROE. Yeah, we missed last week, but after a 3-game losing streak, we had to kind of take some time and kind of figure out what the hell was going on with our Philadelphia Eagles. More importantly, what was going on with our defense, what was going on with our quarterback. And I still am on the please somebody get rid of Nelson Aguilar bandwagon. This brother can't catch he can't catch a cold in Philadelphia.
Okay, now I will say this. Now, okay, we did take a week off. It wasn't so much the loss that got me, because I'll be honest here. I don't feel the Giants game, the loss of the Giants game, as much as I feel the win of the Falcons game. And what I mean by that is...
Please explain this one. I'm like, what? Wait, what? We won a game and you upset. I mean, I can get upset too, but...
When we played the Giants,
yes,
we played the kind of football I want to see our team play. Like,
okay,
they went for it on 4th down. Yes, yeah, the 6-point difference. He could have, maybe we could have kicked it, could have come back. Who knows how the game would have went. They could have blocked it, whatever. But Doug Peterson was out there playing the kind of football I want to see our team play.
All right.
It was in your face. It was good coverage. They were on top of stuff. They were like, our defense stepped it up. We were putting points on the board. We were active. We were going for it a lot more. There was a lot. It felt like there was a lot more passion to it, and it's probably because it was a division game. And
we had lost the last 2.
I am very much from the when I was a kid, the lesson was taught to me is it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's how you play the game. And I know that, the W matters. This is the NFL. We want to see a Super Bowl ring. We want to see all that. But if I can watch my team go out there and play a game, I'm happy to watch them play. Even if we lose, I'll walk away with a sense of pride, like, damn, we did good on that. You look at the Falcons game.
Yes.
You look at, we didn't put up but 1 touchdown in the first 3 quarters of the game. The majority of our points came in the last 8 minutes of that game. That was not the way we play football. It was a sloppy game to watch. It was an embarrassment for a lot of it.
Okay. I will agree with pretty much 85% of what you just said. The fact that, you know what? You go out there and it's how you play. And if we look sloppy, we look sloppy. However, the last 15%, I'm going to disagree with you and say, normally in those situations and in the past, especially in division games, we have not been able to close. Right. We have not been able to seal the deal. Games that should have been ended with us winning did not happen, and they were all in the division. So when I see, as you say, the last 8 minutes of the game, we finally get our heads out of our ass and say, okay, we need to close this game. We're not going to overtime. We are going to win this game. Do whatever it takes to get to the victory, to get to the W. Then I'm like, all right, well then in my eyes, we did what we were supposed to do.
I'm not taking away the win, the win. I think
right,
it was
no,
great.
I get that.
I like the performance of what actually came out in those last 8 minutes, but we've seen this team at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
We saw what was going on. It's like after the bye week, the entire dynamic of the team changed. Now, a lot of that dynamic, honestly, I think is Lane Johnson on the front line. I think a lot of that, he probably brings more to the locker room, he brings more to the team, and maybe, shifting everything around, that gets into the all-technical stuff, but this team should be doing better.
Okay.
Now, the funny thing about that is, we're saying this team should be doing better looking at a rookie quarterback,
right,
who was supposed to be benched all year.
Yes.
We were not expecting to see him play. We were expecting to see Sam Bradford throwing the ball for us all year, right, and falling down a lot and getting hit and, everything Sam Bradford is normally known for.
You know what? I'm so happy karma, to the Minnesota Vikings and to the Atlanta Falcons, proof positive. Don't come to the link and lose. Because if you do, you ain't winning another damn game. Sam Bradford was undefeated and lost to us, hasn't won a game since. Atlanta came and saw us on Sunday, one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and guess what? They lost. And I'm saying to you, that slide that I've been saying on the show every Sunday and every Tuesday, a whole nother level, is going to happen. Atlanta will finish mediocre. They will finish 8-8. They will finish 7-9. They might finish 9-7. But this is the downward spiral. The link has become, in my opinion, very much what the 12 in Seattle used to be. Mm-hmm. You come into Philadelphia we gonna hit you hard. We gonna play smash mouth football, and you gonna lose. I said it earlier in one of our other shows. I said we will not lose a game at home. Big test coming up this Sunday against Seattle. We got some get back for them from the last time they came and played us. But again, it was Chip Kelly, not Doug Peterson. I'm expecting it to be different, but getting back to the Atlanta-Philly game. You want to call it sloppy, fair enough.
Well, like, we ran twice as many plays as Atlanta did with not twice as many points on the board.
Okay.
We had better time of possession, but you look at sloppy things like Carson Wentz got backed into and fumbled the ball. I mean, he did the right thing and dove to get under it, and then it just kind of popped out. And, like, I mean, it was a bad fumble, but that's not his first fumble this year.
But then look what happened. Turned around the next series, we got an interception and got the ball right back. So
because once again, unfortunately, we rely on our defense, I think, too much.
Hold up. Our defense that has been non-existent because of Chip Kelly over the past 3 years.
Absolutely. And look, it comes down to just like we were talking about with Nelson Aguilar. Here's a receiver who can't catch the ball.
No.
And arguably, and it will go back and forth, we can't afford to put him on the bench. We can maybe move him down a slot or two. We've had this discussion because we need some kind of threat out there.
I'm saying bench him. You know what? Cut your losses. Bench him. Bench him because he is not going to get us what we need.
He does come through every now and again, but he's unreliable.
But every now and again is not going to get us the
no,
W.
It's not. And what they really need to do, and I'm sure that Doug Peterson is doing this, because remember, Doug Peterson, first and foremost, was a quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
So you know that the most important thing that he's going to be working on is he's going to be talking about the routes. He's going to be sitting there talking about, getting their hands on the ball. When we get the ball to them reliably, they need to catch it.
I agree.
And that is a huge issue that we're running into with Nelson Aguilar.
Listen, we got, and I still can't believe I'm saying this, he is our number one, Jordan Matthews.
I love Jordan Matthews.
And he's stepping up. Okay, we got Bryce Taggs, who I'd like to see more of. We still have Darrell Green Beckham, who I think once he settles into this Philadelphia system, he will be okay. Because in the beginning, he came out, and I was like, yo, this is it. This is our 1-2 right here. Carson and Darrell Green Beckham. Unfortunately, over the lapse of the full 10 weeks, I haven't seen consistency. So I'm happy that Jordan Matthews has stepped up, but without a real deep threat to where teams aren't scared anything past 20 yards.
Well, and I feel that we're developing that deep threat with Tex. He has the speed. Yep. I've been watching him blow past defenders.
You're right.
He's smaller than them. He's fast. He's out there. Now we just need to get Carson looking for the deep threat because he's not used to having it.
Right.
Because there's been a couple of times where you can see an open guy out there that he's not throwing to, whether it's because he's got pressure in his face or because he's just not seeing it because of everything else going on. And when he's going through his reads, when he's going through his options, he's just not seeing that on the route.
I'm telling you another thing, though, and I mean this.
Please tell me about to say Wendell Smallwood.
No. I've already talked about Wendell Smallwood, a man who I love. I love Ryan Matthews. Ryan Matthews, man. Dude, the brother stepped up.
He really did.
I guess if you drop him a notch and say you ain't going to be number one, he's very much like Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Jets. You get angry, now you want to play. I'm like, bro, where the hell you been all season long?
Well,
scoring 2 touchdowns against Atlanta?
It was beautiful. And, I mean, it wasn't just the touchdowns. It was the consistent yards. Yes. It was the breaking the tackles, making it happen.
Yep.
And I've said this about our running core for a while now. For our backs, we have various styles. You have the way Darren Sproles runs. You have the way Ryan Matthews runs. You have the way Wendell Smallwood runs. Mm-hmm. All three of them are extremely different styles, and one of them's going to work in a game.
Yeah.
You just got to keep putting them in until we find it.
But I was shocked and surprised. I'm watching this game, and I'm like, hold up. Is this the same Ryan Matthews that Mr. Fumbleitis? This the same Ryan Matthews that is punching and driving and just pushing for yards? I'm like, where the hell have you been all year long? Yeah, we've been waiting for you to show up. We had to put Darren Sproles, a man who I've always said should have been our number one, who had been underutilized both in New Orleans and with us. Finally, he gets the number one job. Now Ryan Matthews want to get a case of I'm a man up. Bro, where the hell you been, man?
And this goes back to something that I was actually saying last year with our core, and that I want to see. We have the capabilities, we have the game. What we don't have is we don't have a fullback, because really you don't see many of them in the league right now, which is fine. But then let's see a 2-back set. I want to see a split back set. I want to see. I mean, you don't see it utilized nearly enough in the NFL. When you have running backs with the talent that we do, when you go into a split back set where we know these guys can. I mean, you watch it when you see Jordan Matthews like run around on it, where you've got Ryan Matthews, you've got Darren Sproles blocking for the run.
Right.
Let's utilize them for that with a split back set. Let's start doing it so they don't know which running back is the threat. It might be neither of them because they're both stopping back to hold the pass while we're throwing to Jordan Matthews. It might be that one of them is running up the middle while the other one's cutting around. It might be that we have the options there. Looking at us finally. Getting a screen right this year. Like, that was great. You know what I'm talking about. You saw the play.
Yes,
like,
I know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's like Carson fakes it. Oh, they go with the screen. Every time they did a screen this year, I saw it coming. So did the other team. Like, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. It finally worked. They finally got it down together, and we got the yards out of it.
I still have one small piece of I cannot believe this is still going on. We have, in my opinion, 3 top tight ends. I ain't heard or sniffed these brothers all year long. Now, granted, Selleck, he was out, either him or Ertz. Mm-hmm. Trey Burton, where are you guys? The tight end position.
They're not being utilized enough as receivers. They're being left back. I think when you look at a lot of the sets, especially for the running game or the pass game, right now I'm seeing them held back and into the blocking position and backing up our line because we've got Vitae out there, Big V. He's new out there. He's a rookie. He's getting his feet down. He's not bad, but he does not seem to be he's not Pro Bowl. He's not an all-star at this point. He's got a lot of learning to do, and that's where our tight ends are, is backing up these guys in the line. And when we can feel that we have a secure O-line where they don't have to do that anymore, where we can start, I think a lot of it is we have to run more. I mean, we actually have to run and not just play action the run when we haven't done a run play yet in the game, which we saw back in the Giants game.
Right.
They did 7 play actions. They ain't done one run yet. Well, yeah, they knew you were passing the ball every time. You haven't run the ball yet.
Right.
They started running the ball, and our offense finally started working. I mean, these are things we need to look at. And honestly, with our tight ends, with having Zach Ertz, who's an amazing tight end, having Brent Selleck, who has been a great tight end, reliable year after year, having Trey Burton out there, what we can actually get going, I think, going back to that run game, going back to, I want to see an I formation. I want to see a split back. I want to see things that we haven't done for years because ever since the Donovan McNabb set, we've gone to a West Coast offense.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. You talk about the I formation. The I formation is not going to work if we don't have a fullback. And the fact that we don't, I think, limits us in that area. I honestly, I don't want to see an I formation.
Who is the last greatest fullback that you can think of in the NFL? I'll tell you the one I can think of that everyone were especially maybe just because we're in the Tampa Bay area, A-Train.
Right.
What was his stats? What was his actual, and I mean stats, I mean his physicality. He's 5'10". He was 225 at his peak football game. That's what our running backs are. When you put Ryan Matthews in that fullback position and have Darren Sproles dancing behind him,
right.
When you put Ryan Matthews in that fullback position and you have Wendell Smallwood hidden behind him, running around, playing that different kind of game, we can use these guys in that position because they can step into it for an I formation, for those things, and those are the kind of things that we need, I think, we need to start seeing.
Okay, I would like to see that. However, I'll be honest with you. Right now, for me, the jury's still out. I'm a little skeptical about putting Ryan Matthews in that position because I feel like his first mentality is always going to be as a running back. Let's not do it this season unless it's absolutely necessary to mix things up.
We're 5-4. It's absolutely necessary.
I don't know. My hands aren't on the panic button just yet. 5-4. We've got all 3 division games, all at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Seattle's coming to play us. We still have to take on Green Bay.
The truth is, Baltimore. For our division, we need to. We're at the point for this year where we need to win out. Because if we don't win out, we can pretty much kiss the playoffs goodbye.
Here's the funny thing, and I didn't realize this until just the other day. Do you realize if the playoffs were to start today, 3 out of the 4 NFC East teams would all be in the postseason, and none of them are us.
Yep.
One would go to Dallas. 5 and 6 would be New York and Washington. Washington with the damn tie.
Yep.
And then us sitting at 5 and 4. And I agree with you. We need to win out. I just want to see us do what we did Monday night against the Chicago game. Win a road game, because that has been our Achilles heel right now. We've won one road game this season.
I don't know what we need to do. Do we need to get the tone? Like, I don't know if the team's just going out, they're having fun, they're not taking melatonin, they're not getting the sleep, they can't operate in a different locker room. Whatever it is, something needs to change because we're not winning on the road.
You're right. All right, y'all. With that, we're going to take our leave. We will be back next week. I probably will still look like this. It don't
it's
matter.
It's going to be worse.
Yeah, probably it will be. But this has been ROE, your man E-Dubs, Lance LaRosa. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.